Good morning, everybody, and happy anniversary! We have been streaming for 1 year. Technically tomorrow, because that's how calendars work. But our first podcast was August 8th of 2020, and good Lord, has so much happened. Unfortunately, today it's just gonna be me. A bowl of Ricey has to be a very big adult. She's got to go look at houses because she's still dealing with that saga. I miss you too, Ricey. We can do another anniversary party tomorrow and have you invited. I mean, included. My bad. But I guess it's just me today. I guess I gotta get rid of you. Ha ha ha. Boy. Ha ha. Yeah, of course we can do it tomorrow. Girl, obviously. You party only once? Impossible. We'll party again tomorrow. You like our decorations? I worked really hard on this. It's very cute. Um, yeah. I can host again tomorrow, or I can send you everything to have a cute little party. I should find some champagne images and put them in your place. But yeah, we've been doing this inconsistently for a year, so this is episode 41. We're about 11 episodes short from a full proper 52 year. Um, so yeah, it's a little different talking just by myself, but that's perfectly fine. It was a great learning experience. I know that we have a playlist that has everything starting from episode 4 for us because um our first podcast was about Has Been Hotel and it didn't properly. Yeah, Rice, you gotta go be an adult. That's why you can't be at the kids party. You gotta go be an adult. Um so we I need you to fit properly, thank you. Um, our first podcast was about Has Been Hotel, and we kind of just, you're fine, Ricey, you're fine. I know you'll pop in here and there. Um, was Has Been Hotel, and we didn't. Ricey was the one that was hosting it at the time, and we didn't know to click the VOD feature to save it for people. So it's like we had our podcast and it immediately went away. Then Chelsor the Destroyer suggested after our third podcast to highlight our podcast, that we could highlight the entire podcast. So we could save it for y'all for a longer time if y'all wanted to go back and listen to our stuff. Um, so that's why it's been a learning experience. Because I do the highlights. I learned how to cut the music and just have us talking from the intro, working out stuff like that. So it's been fun. I've been very excited to do all this with y'all through the years. Um, we've talked about so many things. We've talked about Has Been Hotel a couple of times. We've talked about Harry Potter a couple of times and J.K. Rowling. We've talked about movies and Disney and Disney and Disney and Disneyland and Disney World and Disney. Um, TV shows that we love. TV shows that we don't care for. Our favorite tropes. We've talked about so many things with you guys. And I've been very grateful for that. Uh, it is a little sad that Ricey isn't going to be here today. This may end up being a much shorter podcast. Um, I would appreciate if anybody wants to come chat to come chat. But you can find us on What's Your Opin 10 on Twitter and come talk to us there. Oh, that's not me. You can find me at Abmiki. Let's see here. That's not me. But yeah, Ricey, still struggling with that adulting house problems. But yeah, I would say over the years, some of my favorite things that we've talked about, or favorite moments really, is I've enjoyed talking about horror movies with Ricey. Ricey's a big baby about them, but it's really fun to like talk with her about them, because she can watch them with people. She's already asked if she can come see Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness with me and my husband when we go see it on the big screen, because she knows I'm going to go see it. And I'm very excited about that. Um, we've talked about Marvel and DC, Marvel versus DC. We've talked about uh, the Amber Heard controversy and her versus Johnny Depp. We've talked about so many things over the years. Let's go look. Um, oh yeah, Star Wars The Bad Batch. Come to find out, Star Wars Bad Batch, The Bad Batch, is actually 16 episodes and not 14. I watched episode 14 last week and I'm like, well, that's a really weak ending to the season. I get home last night and my husband's like, oh yeah, no, there's a new episode and there's gonna be one more. Whew, that's good because I'm excited. Dave Filoni. Ooh, episode 15 for Dave Filoni has some of the best cinematography I have seen in a while. Oh my god, it's so good. And it's a TV quote unquote TV show. It's a show. Um I got to see, was it Black Widow a couple of weeks ago? On the big screen. It was very good. It wasn't like as serious or high intense as some of the more iconic or mainstream Marvel movies or main timeline MCU stuff. Um, it's real casual, really funny, had some great fight scenes. I really enjoyed it. I would suggest seeing it, even if you have to wait until it's at your local library on the DVD, or if you have Disney Plus and you're waiting for it to come off of premium access. I I would suggest it. I think it's very good. I had a great time watching it. It was really funny. Does a great job of setting up for the next um, series of events that are going to be happening in the MCU. So I'm very excited for it. But yeah. Oh, computer, why do you have to start up now or restart? Um, but yeah, we've talked about conspiracy theories. We've done um, Reddit's Am I the Asshole? Which was very good. Oh yeah, spooky stories. I remember that one. I'm just going through our highlights of our full episodes and just seeing what we've talked about. For those who saw the spooky stories or listened to our podcast for the spooky stories, I mentioned the Eolan Light in Alabama and what my mother had told me about the Eolan Light and actually had gone to look at them. And she told me the reason why it stopped for a while, or why her group of friends stopped going, because one time when they went, well, for those that didn't, let me preface that the Olin light was just kind of a hoax. It's a very good hoax, but it was just a hoax that someone would take a flashlight and be off in the distance in the middle of the night and would like walk along the edge of a hill. And so it looked like this light would be floating on the horizon kind of situation. And one time my mother said that it really stood out to her that like this light floated down the hill. But what it was is that a group of people would go, someone would like get ahead of the group or like leave earlier than the group and split off from them and take a flashlight and would walk along the edge of this hill. Why it was floating, the light looked like it was floating down the hill is because the person that evening stumbled and was rolling down the hill and fell down the hill. Um, so what happened one time was the person that broke off from the group to go be the light actually came across a Ku Klux Klan meeting in the middle of the woods because it was in the middle of the nowhere, um, Alabama. So we know how that was in the 80s and the 70s and stuff. So that like the guy came across it, he's like, "Nope." Turned back around, went back to the group. It's just like, "No, no, we need to leave." So that's kind of what happened and why it kind of pittered off and stuff like that. But apparently people are still doing it to this day because Ricey mentioned that people were still talking about it when she was younger. Uh, yeah. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. My cat Tangerine is crying for attention because he's a big baby. Big baby. Are you gonna come be my co-host today? No, no. Let's see here. I remember just going back and talking about stuff. Let's see here. New Year's predictions. We should go back and double check with Ricey since we're halfway through the year at this point, over halfway through the year at this point, and see if predictions came through. Um, we still COVID still around. We still are in a global pandemic. But yeah, it's very nice for everybody to come hang out. Um, very exciting anniversary. Hope everything is still working like it's supposed to. I'm just worried that I've broken something. Let's see here. Web comics. Oh yeah, we did talk about more specifically webtoons, but we were talking about just comics that we'd come across online that were very interesting and very good. Ricey had suggested Suitor Armor for me. That kind of been seeing ads for on Facebook from webtoons. But whoever it was coordinating those, that, um, what is it? Those ads didn't really do the series justice because Ricey explained it to me that it's about the sentient armor, and that's not what you get out of what was being advertised. It's very good. I really suggest it. Ricey did a great job explaining it to me and why it would be good. She's right. It's so good. Excuse me. Let's see here. What else have we talked about? Remember when Ricey made me do math super early in the morning for Christmas? What are some of your guys' favorite moments? Hello, Cole! One ton of Cole. How are you today? We have our 1 year anniversary! Unfortunately, Ricey had to go be a super adult. She gotta go be an adult. Had to miss out, but we may have a party tomorrow. Aww. Then go get some more caffeine. Do you have caffeine? Do you need more caffeine? You should get more caffeine. Ah, valid. If I drink too much caffeine at once, I give myself anxiety attacks, which makes me feel like I'm exploding. It's a very, very interesting experience. Um, I'm just going through and talking about favorite moments from our previous podcasts. Do you have anything that you want to bring up? Any of your favorite moments or topics that we've talked about? 1 ton of coal. Oh, right. We had Chelser come on and talked about the Untamed, which, very excitingly, the Untamed is based off a Chinese drama, specifically a danmei, which is a Chinese gay drama. Kind of like it would be kind of similar to the equivalent of Japanese yaoi. Um, and it got adapted into the book is called Modao Zushi. It got adapted into a live action Chinese drama called The Untamed. Minus all the gay shit, they are just bros. Nothing but bros. Star Wars. Star Wars. Um, but the novel is actually gonna get an like a licensed English translation coming to America starting in December. And the writer, abbreviated by the readers, is MXTX. She has two other works: Scumvillain Self Saving Service and Heaven Official's Blessing, or her two other works. All three of those are going to be have English translations, and they're all going to start being released December 1st of this year. And each one has multiple books. Scumvillain is going to have 4 books in total, or it's going to be broken up into 4 books. Modazushi, or The Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, is going to be in 5 books, and Heaven Official's Blessing is going to be broken up into 8 books. And they're going to be spread out over the course of 2022 and into 2023 in cases like Modao Zushi and Heaven Official's Blessing. Uh, Going back to 1 ton of coal, what part of Star Wars was your favorite, or what do you like about Star Wars? I know you've been watching Bad Batch 2. Are you excited that it's longer than what was quoted to everybody? So, here's the Earth. It's a very nice Earth. I've loved the animation for the Bad Batch to start with. I really appreciate what they're doing with the storyline as well. It does, to me anyway, seem like it's kind of complicated the um storyline a bit between, or the timeline line really between Rebels and Bad Batch just a little bit. It's nothing to do with any of the super main characters, but it just, to me, makes it a little more complicated that, oh no, I guess I need to go back and watch Star Wars Rebels and Bad Batch to make sure that it's coherent. Valid. Star Wars is the first one, or episode 4, the original movie, A New Hope, was based off Akira Kurosawa's um works, The Hidden Fortress. So the first 3 Star Wars movies were heavily inspired by Japanese works, specifically Akira Kurosawa. And you can see where they kind of lean back towards those storylines. Uh, are you playing Dark Souls? But yeah, Dave Filoni, who's been the executive producer and um, for the Bad Batch, was also the executive producer and the main director for Clone Wars, um, both the movie and the show, and Rebels and um, Resistance, um, along with being like the executive director. Like he was a producer and like an executive director or something for Mandalorian. So with Mandalorian, there was um John Favreau, who's the executive producer. Then there was he was either a producer or a co-producer. Dave Filoni was a producer or co-producer. And then he was also the director, I'm pretty sure. And then there were 5 to 6 um what is it, directors under him. And you can kind of see that if you've watched Mandalorian season 1, um you can kind of feel that each episode has its own feel to it, but still very cohesive within the entire series. Um, I could tell immediately when it was Taika Waititi's turn to be the main director, the lead director, for an episode, because it the comedy, the comedic timing, and a lot of the stuff was just so obviously him and just so different from everything else from the other episodes that it's just like, oh, now it's funny. Okay. Um, I don't know. I feel like I'm suddenly very nervous to start talking by myself, and I don't know why. To now answer running weekly GI bosses. What are GI bosses? Genshin Impact. Okay. I've heard people like that, but also have like complaints with it. That it's the good thing is it's basically Breath of the Wild or Breath of the Wives, whatever, waifus. But that they got complaints that um something weird with the stamina. I've never played Genshin Impact, so I don't really remember what they're complaining about, but it's something that it's like, oh, a very useful feature in Breath of the Wild is not prevalent in Genshin Impact, that makes it just tedious, I think is the best word for it, and I don't remember what I've been told it is. but I don't think Ricey's ever played Genshin Impact either. I've never played it, and I don't think Ricey has either. I know Chelsor has. She streams it every so often on a Monday. But yeah, for Star Wars, we had Zane Vlader come chat with me about it, and then, or he came and chatted with me and Ricey about Clone Wars, and then we had Monty Fromage come talk with me about Bad Batch and the hype for Bad Batch. And uh we should have a recap on that. That was so good. That was such a it's been such a good ride. Um what more would y'all like to see from us? We would like to have Chelsor back on, but she's an adult with a job and a streaming, and she, if the sun's up, she's asleep kind of situation. Was there anybody y'all would like to see us bring on? So the stamina wheel doesn't upgrade super big. I think that's what I've been told. Stream with chat. Stream with chat how? Like we're doing now? Or like, oh, maybe we would have to like kind of like, what is it? A teleparty, Netflix party kind of situation. We wouldn't be able to stream it depending on most movies. But if y'all don't have teleparty and it's an extension for Google Chrome, and it it makes watching stuff really fun. Um or really helpful in the cases of watching things like The Untamed, where it's very culturally different. Um and having someone explain to you kind of what's happening and why something's significant and important until you're used to the culture and understanding what you need to be searching for to get more context clues, or like just to Google for more information. Um, it's now called Teleparty. It's a lot of fun. It's very similar to how um, a chat would experience a stream. You can chat alongside while watching something. Um, you can pause it and like talk to each other and like rewind. It's a lot of fun. Um, I did this with Chelsor, Ricey, and our two friends for the watch party for The Untamed. We've done it with several other things. We've talked about Over the Moon. That was a teleparty uh, viewing. It's a lot of fun to do it. I've done it with uh, Chelsor and Ricey, where we've just talked on, like, kept the Discord up and watched Anastasia, because we all know that movie very well. We're not going to really, like, ruin the experience. It actually heightened it because we're just pointing out stuff that we've noticed or making fun of, cracking jokes, things like that. Let's see here. So the idea is everyone gets the movie on their own and people react as they watch, so maybe just audio could be heard by chat but no video. Okay, I see what you're talking about. I see what you're talking about. So kind of live stream um myself and my reactions to it, but not have any footage of whatever we're watching. Okay, maybe it depends on what everybody wants to watch, because I know that, I mean, it may be a good way to get Ricey to finally watch Clone Wars. Um, but not everybody's going to be into the same thing. Not everybody's going to be into Chinese wuxia bromance dramas. Not everybody's going to be into Star Wars. Ooh, 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 ooh. We ooh oohing up in here? Let's ooh ooh. Um, but yeah, no, that sounds like a. We would have to figure out what everybody would want to watch, um, and where everybody can watch it because not everything's going to be on the same platform. Um, Anastasia, done by Fox, is owned by Disney now. It's only on Disney Plus, as a streaming feature. Um, then there is, let's see, all I can think of is Disney Plus stuff right now. Um, Over the Moon. That is a movie. We're gonna use movie examples. Over the Moon, very beautiful movie. Netflix. It's a Netflix movie. It was produced by Netflix, so it's gonna stay on Netflix. Um, Good Omens, a TV show, Amazon Prime. So I don't have Amazon Prime. It'd be very interesting to see what, like a rewatch. What's a rewatch? Oh yeah, I remember that. Um, I also have this theory for the MCU kind of going into phase 5. I should double check that real quick. Phase 4. I'm very excited. Shang-Chi, I'm very excited for. It looks very good. I'm very excited to have more non-mainstream characters uh show up. Let's see here. Looking at uh phase 4, they've added a couple of things that I distinctly remember not being in there. Um and uh one of them is oh, okay. They've definitely added stuff from the original list. So there's two. The first one I distinctly remember how it was supposed to slot was Black Widow was supposed to be May 1st, 2020, Falcon the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus, Eternals in November of 2020, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. WandaVision was supposed to be in spring of 2021. Oh. Oh. Hmm. Uh, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was supposed to be in May of this year. Loki was supposed to be in spring of 2021. The What If was a show for summer 2021. Hawkeye was fall of 2021, and Thor: Love and Thunder was November of 2021. That's what Phase 4 was released, I think, back in like 2018 or something, maybe early 2019. But now it seems like what is supposed to be happening now, ooh, don't do that. More wrong thing. Is how the plans for phase 4 are now WandaVision, The Falcon the Winter Soldier, Morbius. I haven't heard of Morbius yet. It's supposed to already be out, allegedly. So I haven't heard anything about that. I may have to go research that. Black Widow, Loki, Venom, The Rise of Carnage, which I'm surprised is now going to be in the MCU, which I guess I gotta go see now. I'm kind of disappointed because I'm not into Venom. Then there is Shang-Chi, The Eternals, Spider-Man 3 apparently is now slotted for Phase 4, which in my opinion should be Phase 5, but I got theories about Spider-Man 3. Um, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Thor: Love and Thunder, Black Panther 2, which they better give that mantle to Shuri. She's the only person that is supposed to be getting that. Captain Marvel 2 and Fantastic Four. Another theory was that other things that were supposed to be added is Miss Marvel. Uh, what is this? I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm looking at. I do know what I'm looking at, but I also don't know what I'm looking at, and I don't know how to get there in a reasonable amount of time. I don't know what that is. I can't see it. She-Hulk, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. They're saying May of 2023. I call bullshit because James Gunn is just like, I had other things to do, so we'll see. Sorry, I was looking at stuff. One ton of coal. Uh, so the idea in most cases is that everyone is responsible for getting their own copy of it, but yeah, we all just start at the same time. Who is Shang? It's Shang, Shang-Chi, because I don't know him right off. I don't know him either. That's the thing, he's not like the iconic classic Avengers mainstream Marvel characters. I don't know who he is, and I'm very excited to see what he is. And I also feel I've seen trailer. I've seen a couple of trailers, and I'm not a trailer person. I really don't. They show way too much, and ruin the movie. But I think Aquafina is supposed to be in it, and I like her. She's growing on me. I think she's kind of entertaining. Um, you have been learning about Venom recently, and it's not as edgy as you first thought. I can believe that. Like I've heard Venom is a very good movie. Who's the main actor? Tom Hardy. A lot of people like Tom Hardy in that, but I think that with Tom Hardy, it's like you'll like him in whatever you see him in. So people really liked Venom. I never cared for Venom. I'm a fairly big Spider-Man person. I've watched a lot of the Spider-Man original live-action Spider-Man movies, so like Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, things like that. I grew up watching like the classic, um, late '80s, early '90s Spider-Man animation. I watched several the more modern adaptations, The Amazing Spider-Man and such. I never really cared for the Venom story arc personally. That's just me. That's not my story. I like Doc Ock. I like Green Goblin. I like Hobgoblin. I like all those people. Just Venom just doesn't interest me, and it could be that I'm not like a big alien person. I wasn't a big alien person when I was a kid, so he already was not something I would like to begin with because he was in a sense an alien thing. So that's just me. I'm glad to see that they're bringing in Carnage very quickly into the Venom storyline. Honestly, um, but that's just me. I don't know. One ton of Cole says that you never liked the image of Venom as a kid, just his overall design, or what he kind of represented. Okay, that's valid. Like he was really intense. Like Spider-Man is kind of marketed more towards children because Peter Parker is 16 when he's first bit. So it's like, oh, it could be for teenagers, it's like early college students or little kids. Spider-Man could be someone that like those demographics could kind of get into and stuff. But Venom is a very harsh aesthetic character for children. Like Doc Ock is really like ridiculous. Green Goblin and Hobgoblin are both kind of ridiculous designs in and of themselves to begin with. Like Mysterio, he just has like a fishbowl for a head. Um, so like I get that. I do. Carnage is actually the edge lord of Spider-Man. I believe that. I believe that. I absolutely believe that. I am very I guess I gotta go watch Venom to actually have an opinion about how I feel about it being a part of the MCU now. That's valid. I remember watching, what was it? A death battle um with Carnage. That was pretty interesting. It Death battles are really interesting. They give you a lot of information about a character through all media because they're giving each character their peak performance across all media. And it was Lucy. That's who it was. And I would suggest it. Death battle, epic death battle, between Lucy versus Carnage. I am very excited for the things lining up. I am. Let me go ahead and just throw this on here real quick. Um, let's just throw this up here. Let's see how that looks. It's kind of busy. Boop. Let's get that off my face. There we go. Um, so what I wanted to talk about was that we have established with Loki the multiverse. Like, this allows us to lead into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This allows the multiverse to be um, quickly explained in the movie. We have the Scarlet Witch from WandaVision established. I feel like these two, along with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, with confirmation of actors who are already being cast for their roles in the movie, that with Spider Man 3 and the title No Way Home, I feel like we're going to end up losing our Tom Holland Spider Man, our Tom Holland Peter Parker in the multiverse. That's just an assumption based off everything. I've been known to be wrong before. I'm very excited to see where these storylines go. This may have nothing to do with the multiverse. I'm just curious. That's just my theory. That's all I wanted to say about that. So we can just turn that off and we will put this back down here. Yeah, that looks good. Well, like, I just give a big ol' spoilers to begin with. Some people are just averse to all spoilers. But we've already talked about Loki and WandaVision and theories behind all those. Um, but yeah, I think we're gonna be wrapping up in the next couple of minutes just because it's just me today. I really appreciate one ton of Cole coming in and chatting with me and helping me get over my anxiety of just being here without my co-hosts or without another live person to work off of. I appreciate everybody that's come by and talked with me, um, and who will check out the VOD later. Um, we, I, I'm not the organized one. I don't know how to do all this stuff, so I appreciate everyone bearing with me. For the closer, I am Abmiki Ree. You can find me on Twitter under the same name. Um, you can find my co-host, who is busy again currently being an adult right now, over on Twitter as well under a bowl of Ricey, and she has a cosplay Instagram and a Facebook page under Besos Cosplay, Besos Cosplay under both of those that you can go check out her and her cosplays there. Highly suggest it. Very wonderful cosplayer. You can find both of us on Twitter at What's Your Opinion. A cleverly disguised adult. Man, she's got us all fooled. All of us fooled. What's Your Opinion? You can find us, both of us, there at What's Your Opinion. I've put it in the chat so y'all could see that. Um, and just let us know what future topics you want to talk with us about. Thank you for everybody coming by and celebrating our 1 year anniversary. We will hopefully do a celebration tomorrow as well, so Ricey can be a part of this and join in on the celebrations, and that would actually give us an opportunity to celebrate it actually on our 1 year anniversary. I appreciate everybody who's come by and talked with me, and we're going to just go ahead and sign off now. I appreciate y'all's time, and we'll see you again soon, maybe sooner rather than later. We'll figure it out eventually. We're responsible. Thanks, guys. Bye.